a smart profile is essentially a chain agnostic wallet plus profile data plus a personal AI agent that comes with it. So why does this personal AI agent, why have we like attached this module to our wallet, or our wallet with personhood? It's because um let's say you go to a platform and then the platform can actually query your personal AI agent that's trained on your profile data. What kind of
Hey everyone, welcome to another conversation on Newforum, a research network for open learning and the arts and sciences, pioneering a new culture for internet design. Today I'm chatting with Hira, co-founder and CEO of Plurality Network. Plurality Network focuses on rethinking how digital identities work and how we interact with decentralized systems. You might also remember their innovative contributions to our identity hackathon last year. We're going to hear more about their mission to empower individuals with secure, interpretable digital profiles and build a new level of trust in decentralized systems. One of my favorite quotes from you, Hira, is will not stop until my mom uses Web3, which perfectly captures her passion for making Web3 accessible and user-friendly. So let's start by diving into what that means for you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been working in this space for around 10 years, and I've been waiting for this moment where Web3 is going to be massively adopted by like all of the people everywhere around the world. And the protocol that we are building has a huge focus on user experience and how users are represented in the Web3 world. And yeah, whenever somebody asks like, who are you building for? So this is kind of like an insider joke that I say about, yeah, I'm building for my mom because she uses WhatsApp, she uses Facebook, she uses Gmail, but she has no idea about Web3. And for her, like, she has no idea about the things that I'm working on. So that's my goal. The day that she can use Web3, that means we are on mass adoption. So that's the goal that I'm working towards.
That's amazing, Hira. That's really
Yeah.
amazing. So can you maybe dive a little bit more into your mission and how you're rethinking digital profiles and why this is such a game changer for Web3 users?
Yeah, of course. So Web3, it's like every time you hear about this word Web3, the first thing that pops into an average user's mind is, ooh, that's gonna be complex. Like, how am I gonna even use it? What am I even gonna do there? Like, what kind of platforms are out there? And like, is it like Facebook? Is it like a bank account? Is it like what exactly is it? And the thing is that Web3 has a lot of upsides like decentralization, self-sovereignty, and it's really a new, improved version of the internet. But it was not exactly created with the average user in mind. So imagine like you're trying to onboard a new person into Web3. Let's say my mom tries to start into the Web3. That would be very funny if she tries to do that. But even if she does that, so what's the step one? So how does she enter this world? How does she represent herself online on any Web3 platform? The first step is a wallet. So what exactly is a wallet? It's a public-private key pair. It's a random hash, doesn't even have your username, no identity, nothing attached to it. It's a completely and pseudonymous hash, long string of random characters. And in order to create that, you have to first secure your seed. You have to create a password. You have to store that seed somewhere. You have to make sure that nobody gets access to it. And yeah, you would now say that there are platforms that let you create wallets with email or your Gmail or your social. So that's already a step in the positive direction. But even if you do that, even let's say somebody was able to create a wallet with their email, Gmail, or by the really manual way of seed phrases, what after that? Then they have to take care of gas. Then they have to see what chain they're on. Then they have to see, okay, my assets in this chain are not my assets in this chain. And if I need to like use them there, then I need to bridge, or I need to do a swap, or I need to do this and that and that. And the complexity never just really ends. So it's not like just one step or two step. It's a whole lot of steps that add to the complexity one after the another. So by the time like a normal person would never go through these many steps, and that is why like we're losing out on a major population that's Web3 curious, that wants to try out but doesn't have the technical capacity to do it. So that's the first part of user experience. But let's just say in a hypothetical scenario that we solve that, like because like there's a lot of work going on in this direction. Let's say 5 years down the road, 7 years down the road, everything is abstracted, chain is abstracted, wallet is abstracted, gas is abstracted. Would that solve the problem? I would say no, because there is an even deeper problem there. So even the problem is the way that the wallet is created. The wallet is not supposed to represent a person in the way that we are represented on platforms today. So a wallet has no attached identity of the person. So you cannot, for example, represent who you are as a person, what you like, what are your preferences, what kind of content are you interested in, what's your reputation. All of this stuff is completely missing from Web3. And because of that, even when somebody goes onto a platform, signs in with their wallet, the experience is a one size fits all kind of experience. It's like, Salimi, you and I could have completely different interests. But if you and I onboard onto a social media platform, decentralized social platform, the experience for both of us would completely be the same. Similarly, if we go to any kind of game or anything, so it's like the experience is completely the same. However, if you look at the surveys and the research that has been done using centralized internet or web 2 like we call it, um, people don't really like that. People are kind of you could say they're already spoiled, in the sense, spoiled is maybe not the right word, but they already are like this experience where they go to a social platform and the feed is completely curated. They go to Netflix and based on their past viewing history, they get recommended.
Algorithm just
Uh,
works.
yeah, like exactly. Like this is the kind of movie that you would
And it's also
like to
biased
see.
as well in a
Exactly.
centralized context. Yeah.
Exactly. And there's like huge research work done behind it, huge kind of different kind of machine learning algorithms behind it. And I'm not saying that that's the right way, because that also has a set of problems associated with it. All the data that is centralized and the algorithms are opaque. The curation that's happening is completely opaque. You have no idea who is it serving. Like you don't know what's going into the algorithm and what the output is coming from. So there are all these problems in these things as well. But from the user perspective, they're kind of addicted to this kind of experience. So we started thinking about, and this would even grow even more in the world of AI. So as AI comes in, it would also bring in a whole level of hyper personalization. But where does this data for the hyper personalization come from? So we'll come to that. But what we started thinking about is that what if we could have a way of attaching personhood or different profiles attached to a wallet? So kind of like a wallet with personhood. And what if user could go on different platforms, attach their different profiles based on the context of that platform. So for example, if you're going to a streaming platform, then you attach your music interests or the kind of movies that you like to see, things like that. Or if you're going to a social media platform, so maybe you could attach your reputation, what kind of things you like to talk about, what kind of things you like to read, so your social profile. What if we could have all these different contextual profiles attached to a wallet in a way that protects users privacy, in a way that user can control what kind of data they're sharing and with whom, and in a way that's completely self-sovereign and privacy preserving. So this is the kind of the base layer that we started creating, and we call this the open context layer. And then the second part was that how do we attach it to the wallet in a way that it's completely portable? And that is why we have created these chain agnostic wallets. So wallets that can be used on different chains. So right now we are only EVM compatible, but we are working towards Solana integration as well, as a side note. But these chain agnostic wallets with attached profiles can be used to log in to any platform. So like if you think about it, it's a completely different way of interacting with platforms. So today, when you log into a platform, you're just bringing your wallet. But tomorrow, with Plurality or with smart profiles, when you log into a platform, you can actually go with your entire personhood. And you can be sure that your data is not being misused. You can be sure that you know what data is being shared, or you can even be like you can decide whether to show your username or not. You can decide whether to share your interest or not. So all these kinds of granular permissioned data sharing. So this was a very interesting angle that we were working on, but the last few years have been I would say AI has really changed the game because and so we since the last few years we were talking about like Web3 needs to be personalized, or there needs to be personalization in Web3, or the user should be able to represent their taste online. When they go online, they should be able to like represent who they are, what they're interested in. But then with the way that the AI is making breakthroughs after breakthroughs, we are going towards a world that is going to be completely hyper personalized. So what do I mean by hyper personalized? It's like it's a new level of personalization that we haven't seen before, in the sense that uh, just giving you an example, you could go to you can go to a website, for example, and the whole interface could be changed based on what kind of preferences you have. If you prefer dark mode, it could be completely done in a dark mode. It can curate the content that you like to see. It could even maybe even change the font size if you have some visual disability. But where would the data for all this kind of hyper personalization would come from? This data would be stored somewhere, and if we keep the way that things are today and we keep like everything centralized like it is today, then I think that the data problems that we have today, they would be increased by 10x.
Yes.
So that's why we believe that there should be a decentralized profiles protocol, and where users could really control what data they are using with whom, and then that data could be used to provide them with a hyper personalized experience, increasing their retention on platforms, increasing their satisfaction on platforms, while making sure that they're safe and secure.
So I'm curious, I know that like in this super evolving space that we're in, right? Like you're talking about the user experience in Web3. Okay. So that's like one issue that you've come up with the solution, Plurality Network, and all the innovations that you're building around that to shape that. And then there's AI, right? And then there's agents, and then there's all of this. So how do you navigate this? I'm super curious because you have to sort of like surf on these waves, right? Whether you like it or
Yeah,
not somehow. So
yeah.
how does it affect you and your team and also in the context of Plurality Network? Like how have you implemented some of these I mean I cannot say newer technologies, but evolving.
Yeah, yeah. So I think the technology that we're working on has a great synergy with AI, because there is a thing called personal AI agents, which basically operate. So personal and personalization. So are they the same or are they different? They're actually not the same, because when we say personalization today on the internet, that's like there's an algorithm, there are a parameter set by somebody else. So the algorithm is made to make money for the platform creator. But personal is something different. Personal is like what are your goals? What do you as a person want to achieve from that? And that is where I think we would actually be improving personalization as well. So the wallet, on top of the open context layer, we call these smart profiles. But if you go deeper under the layers on a technical level, a smart profile is essentially a chain agnostic wallet plus profile data plus a personal AI agent that comes with it. So why does this personal AI agent, why have we like attached this module to our wallet, or our wallet with personhood? It's because um let's say you go to a platform, and then the platform can actually query your personal AI agent that's trained on your profile data, what kind of things you want to see today. So that gives a whole new level of dynamism, and that is how the experience would be extremely hyper personalized according to each individual user while respecting users privacy. I'm really excited about this module that we are working on, and I really think that it can be a game changer in the next 10 years.
And do you think these profiles could help people trust AI more?
I think definitely yes, because like right now, where is the data coming from for training all these AI agents? So like you have no idea today what kind of data is like being fed into AI agents, and the funny thing is that you do not know that what data is going in and why are you being shown what you're being shown. The world is, well, it can be a scary place at times. We have to be protective of our data, but of course we cannot really go back to a time where there is no user experience. We cannot go back to 1980s where there was no kind of focus on user experience. We have to bring users online. We have to provide them an experience that makes them um, l- that makes them achieve whatever they want to achieve online, so that fulfills their goal, that that a system that has a fiduciary responsibility towards the person, not towards the organizations or the big organizations. I think that's the kind of mission that we are working towards. So provide users with the best experience possible while keeping them safe, while keeping their data safe, and in a way that respects their wishes, their privacy, and this a system that has a fiduciary responsibility towards the user. So that's the big vision.
Mm. So ideally, or the ideal scenario would be smart profiles working with decentralized AI agents.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, exactly.
Amazing. And so, based on everything you talked about, and for instance, like you use your mom, or even let's say myself as an example. So let's say if I have my personal AI agent that has been sort of tailored to my needs with all the restrictions and whatnot. And let's say I go on like on the internet to do some shopping. My agent obviously goes on to chat with other agents, and then my agent hallucinates and does something crazy. Will how will, like, who is responsible?
Yeah, so I think that's a very good point, but I think that's exactly why the permissions and the bounds come in. So for example, if what's let's say that you do not allow your AI agent to spend more than $10. Or you say that every time the AI agent has to make a purchase, they need to make sure that they ask you first, for example. Or maybe you can just not give them access to the wallet and just say that on this website, like for example, you go on a website, you connect your smart profile, and on this website, whenever you find an NFT collection that's according to the kind of NFTs that I've already collected, so like kind of in my interest area, just pop me up a notification, and then I can decide. So yes, first thing first, so I believe that these models and these hallucination problems, these will also get better with time. But until then, of course, you cannot, like, you would not even do that even with the person. Like, you would not even like give your partner your credit card and like, give them a free pass. Like, you're free to do whatever you want. Even on even on Revolut or PayPal, you always have these spending limits. So
Mm.
that's the same kind of permission technologies that need to be created whenever you're talking about an AI agent that has access to your wallet or access to your data or access to your profile. There needs to be a permission system.
Mhm.
And of course, the user decides what are those bounds and constraints.
Let's say, Salimi, I hear about Plurality Network, and I'm curious, like, how do I even, um, where do I start? Like, is there a
Yeah,
link? Like, so if you could touch on that a bit, and then I'd really love to hear about your partnership program after
yeah,
that.
yeah. So we are going to launch our profiles dashboard in a very soon, and there you would be able to create your profiles. Right now, what we have launched is an embedded widget that any dApp can integrate in their system in like 5 minutes. So it's similar to like the widgets of wallets that dApps are accustomed to. But the difference is that instead of just wallets, users can actually create their smart profiles through this widget. And once the login process is done, then the requested data is then shared with the dApp, and they can then use it to personalize or customize the experience for the user. So we're looking for ambitious dApps in the space to join our partner program. So we have a few slots. We are currently accepting applications for the partner program, and the selected applications, we will work closely with them. We will provide them access to our tool suite and our wallet login mechanism completely free of cost. So we are going to take over the cost for the apps for at least 1 year. And yeah, we'll just closely work with them and provide them whatever they need. So this is something that I wanted to like talk about here and get everyone's attention so that if you or anyone you know is working on a dApp that's in the consumer space, an NFT marketplace, a Web3 game, a metaverse, a Web3 social platform, or anything that has anything to do with the user, and not just like the financial aspect, but also the human aspect of the user, then I would suggest you all to try out our our product.
Yeah, I would recommend that too. And so I'm curious about what sort of impact you are expecting this partnership program to have on the Plurality Network or ecosystem, as well as, the individuals or the developers who are also going to be participating or partnering with you.
So I believe that anyone who wants to provide their users with a better, not only a better user experience, but a way to retain or increase retention on their platform as well, they should definitely check it out, because currently there is no other product in in the Web3 space, no other protocol in the Web3 space that's really allowing a dApp to get access to the kind of things that their users would like to see on their platform. So like it's all about, you can create your identity somewhere on some platform, or you can create your proof of personhood on some platform, but there's no integrated way that actually lets the apps use it in a more in any kind of meaningful way. So that's why I think that this would be a very good experiment to like try it out and see if it um, creates any improvement for your users. For Plurality Network, I think because we want to like really work closely with the first few applications and really help them make it big in the market, and then we will roll out our open version of the SDK as well.
Amazing. So let's talk a bit about your long-term vision. I know you're not, most people don't like to predict, right?
Yeah,
I think we're living in a time where we can't help but must try to predict things, just to.
yeah.
So if you had to predict Plurality Network's biggest contribution to Web3 and digital identities in, let's say, maybe 5 years, what would it be?
Yeah. So have you heard of the post-web thesis?
No, I haven't.
So there's this thesis that a lot of people are talking about, and I also kind of agree with the vision and that we are moving towards that direction. So the idea is that the internet would become very thin and it would become scattered in the sense that you wouldn't really go to a website or you wouldn't really go to an app, but there would be all these different interfaces like your TV would be an interface, your smartwatch would be an interface, the robo vacuum in your home would be an interface, and the internet, the user interface of the internet would really become thin, and maybe a few like maybe like a very small part of it would be in the traditional form that we see today. And most of the things in most of the internet would be handled by agents, and only the things that are related to the human condition of the feeling of connectedness or belongingness, only those parts of the internet would still stay, and rest everything like all the manual tasks, all the payment of grocery bills and like ordering grocery, ordering this, getting like asking the robo vacuum to start vacuuming in the background while you're at work, or all of this would be handled by agents. So I believe that but all of this actually needs not only an agentic wallet, but also a wallet with personhood. And that's why we believe that we will play a huge role in this post-web era where the internet would be completely taken over by AI agents. So that's our one of our goals. Other than that, I believe that this is something that we're not like publicly telling right now, but there is something happening in the background, some alpha, I would say. So it's like we're working on something that would completely align the incentives between the users who check out different platforms and the platforms who want to engage or retain these users. So a kind of like a two-way alignment of incentives. This is something that we're also working on. And if you're successful in that, then it might even lead to the first Web3 apps, app store kind of thing. Because like, what's the, whenever, what's the first part of of an app store? It's actually a profile that can be used across all of the apps that are listed on that app store. So that is one of the visions that we are working towards.
A
And
big
that's all I can say
yeah.
at the
Say
moment.
no more. Say no more. Let's keep everyone curious and yeah, excited for it to yeah, to get to its ultimate fruition. If
Yeah.
that's to say it, yeah. And so is there anything that we haven't talked about that you'd like to touch on today in the agents, the AI space about Plurality Network?
No, I think we pretty much covered it all, but like just wrapping up what Plurality Network is, it's a completely new kind of user experience layer for Web3, which not only makes it very easy for users to log on to a system, but then also get engaged or retained on that platform in a way that satisfies what they were looking for. So this is something that I'm really excited about. Yeah.
Amazing. So I'm guessing I usually like to ask this question, like what keeps you going in this space? You know, it's so fast. There's just it can be intense, it can be discouraging, it can be exciting, it's innovative, it's all kinds of things. So what keeps you going aside wanting to get to a point where your mom can use Web3? Is there anything else that drives you, that keeps you going, that you'd like to share with us?
So I think I've been in this space for enough years to know that like it's like I've seen like at least three generations of people kind of like entering into the space, going into this euphoria that you can make a lot of money, and then actually making a bit of money, but losing a lot of money as well. And then after like 3 or 4 years, they get into the mindset that okay, we can do a lot of things here other than the money part as well. And I say that this is like a rite of passage, and I've seen at least 3 generations going through the same kind of transition. I think what keeps me going is that I still believe, even though I know that there are many who don't believe this anymore, I still believe that Web3 is the tech that can create a better and more equitable future of the internet. I come from humble beginnings, so I wasn't born in Europe or US anyway. I'm from Pakistan, and growing up, I saw a lot of problems that could be solved with a decentralized technology. I know that we're not solving all of those problems. I know that some of those problems that I once thought could be solved through decentralized tech can actually not be solved because they're more like a people problem and not a tech problem. But I still believe that there's a huge part of the internet that can be improved based on the tech that we're working on. And at the end of the day, I what keeps me like every founder out there, I also have my moments of doubt. I also have these nights where I feel like I don't know like how this would turn out to be. But I just think that when I'll be 80 years old and nearing my death, I will look back at this time and I will I will see that I tried to do something in the right direction, and that would make me proud. And that is only that's the only thing that keeps me going. Because at the end of the day, I believe that people who are working in software, they are they don't realize this, but they're actually kind of magicians because whatever thought comes into their mind, they can actually translate it to code and ship it out into the world. And I believe that is a superpower. But with great power comes great responsibility. And yeah, that's funny, but yeah, we have to create a better version of the future for our children. And somehow in the past 2 decades, I believe that things have really gone haywire. Sometimes feels like you're in a matrix or something. But this needs to be changed
That,
because, yeah, like when the internet started, I believe that really brought the whole world together. And like there were these boundaries that were open. Like I remember being young and finding out like chat applications and emails, and that you could email any person anywhere in the world. And sometimes people also used to reply like, and that was so cool, like I'm sitting in a remote part of the world, and then I'm like somebody's replying me from the other side of the world with their new ideas. And I think that really opened up the space, and that brought the whole world together, and we started seeing each other as people. But somehow in the past decade, I think polarization has increased so much, and I believe a like a part of that polarization is the responsibility of social media platforms, and it has increased a lot. And that is why I believe that there needs to be something done about these filter bubbles and the way that the data or the content is shown to people, the way the data is shared, harvested, used for training. And I think this is the one key point where you can actually create more open spaces if user is the one who can control what sort of information is being fed to them, or at least they know why certain information is being fed to them. And that was one of our I know like we're now building like a lot more, but that was like the key idea in my head when we started Plurality Network.
wow, that's exciting. I'm super honored to be interviewing one of the magicians, as you put it. And I just really, even though we're talking about agents and technology, I feel the humanness in you.
Yeah.
And I feel more comforted knowing that people like yourself, are part of the builders who are shaping this new internet, the future of the new internet. So thank you so much, Hira, for sharing all your amazing insights, for building Plurality Network. Super excited about its future. And I'm sure others listening to you are also curious and they want to follow you and learn more about the project and everything you're up to. So where can they find you on your socials?
Yeah, so my Twitter handle is identity on chain. So you can just find me there. I think I'm pretty Googleable because I go, yeah. You can just like write on LinkedIn Hira Siddiqui, and like I use my face everywhere. I am pretty much out there. So we can also like add a link at the end. But if you just Google Hira Siddiqui, you will find it.
Amazing. Thank you so much again. And thank you all for tuning in and listening to this exciting and insightful discussion. And if you want to get more involved in our community, make sure to follow us on our social platforms. We're Newforum_NCO on X, and our website is new.foundation. So thank you again, and see you in the next episode. Thank you, Hira.
Yeah, thank you.